Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Instead of me talking to the camera this time, I'm going to kind of do a little voiceover while I get some work done for a project. Multitasking at its finest. Okay, so when it comes to owning an interior design business, there's a lot of emotions behind it, just like any other business. For me, it's very exhilarating. Every day is interesting, and I get to do what I love and what I do best, which is be creative. Since starting my business back in 2020, I have gone through many lessons, and even though I'm still pretty new to this era of my life, I do want to share what I have learned so far and what's helped me in owning an interior design firm. So, without further ado, let's get started. Number one is joining Facebook groups. I actually find these very useful, and a ton of people post questions on these groups that I'm a part of every day. They can be relatable to me, or if it's something that I'm not yet there, I like screenshot it, and then I save it for the future. And you can also look up any questions you might have and see if somebody else has asked it, and take a look at the comments and what people recommend. I am a part of like three like interior design Facebook groups, and so I'll have those linked down below. Next up, when you are starting out designing and working on projects, track your hours. Create a spreadsheet or record it in a journal and see how long it takes you to complete a project from start to finish. That way, you can start to use that as a reference for future projects. And if a client asks how long it will take, you can kind of go based on previous projects and let them know, like, yeah, roughly this could take around 20 to 30 hours to complete. And you will also have the price in mind. So make sure to track it all. Put that timer on, or do whatever it is you need to do. Track those hours. Network and go to business conferences. Look up any networking events near you, sign up for any industry events. I recently gone to this networking event alone. I was invited by HACIA, which is Hispanic American Construction Industry Association. And it was kind of nerve-wracking for me to go up to people, not gonna lie, but I did put myself out there, so I did make a friend with this girl, and we kind of tag team along to just kind of go up to people, introduce ourselves. So I just kind of felt more comfortable, even though I did kind of go up to people with this girl I met. Meeting that girl was pushing myself outside the boundaries. But yeah, if you're a little shy and timid like me to get out your comfort zone, do it, because only good things will happen from it. Which kind of leads me to the next thing is show up on the days even when you don't want to. There's been quite a few times I've debated on going to an event just because I didn't feel like it. I felt like meh. And I was trying to make up any excuse in the book to not go and mingle. But I kid you not, guys, the days where I didn't feel like going were the days that really mattered, because something great always came out of it. There was this I go to my Wednesday's networking event, and there was a day I was like already running late. I was like, should I even bother to go? I don't know, but I ended up going, and there was this lady looking for an interior designer, and had I not gone, I would have missed my opportunity. So every time I feel like not showing up or not giving it my all, I always refer back to this quote that goes by, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Literally, guys, I hear that in my mind when I don't feel like going, and I think to myself, like, if I don't go, I could be missing out on a great opportunity or something great to happen. So show up even on the days you don't want to. If a client is trying to negotiate your pricing, red flag. It is definitely not worth your time, or make them pay the full amount up front. I've had, unfortunately, a couple of instances where people try to bargain my pricing, or they didn't pay me the rest, which is very frustrating. Um, but yeah, there was a time where I did kind of bring down my pricing, because of like XYZ. I did want to work with them, but it kind of makes you look desperate. It sets a bad look, and the client will try to cut corners in other ways and not fully respect you. So stand firm on your pricing, no matter how hurt it feels, unless you really see this going somewhere great, or this client could lead you to other thing. Well, I don't know. If a client is just trying to negotiate pricing, that's ultimate red flag. Like, they're not respecting you. So yeah. Now, next up, I have be prepared and be okay with mistakes and those bad days. They are going to happen, guys. How you decide to react is your choice. Sometimes you need to put on your big girl or big guy pants, and really tackle the problem. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. Find a solution and take ownership of anything that is on you, any mistakes that you do. Take full responsibility and ownership of it. Another thing that helps is to document mistakes or when things go wrong in the project. Write it down at the moment, and once the project closes, go back and write down how that was solved or what you've learned. Even big top-notch designers make mistakes. Like, I mean, no one really shares that aspect of that process, so don't beat yourself up and just be transparent with your clients. This next step is really important for me, mostly, but take days for yourself and mental well-being. I feel like there's a lot of stigma on when it comes to owning your business, and that you should work hard, not go out, not doing anything fun. But guys, also remember to take care of yourself, especially in the design field. Things will get really hectic, so it's super important to do things that make you happy and take care of your brain. Refresh your mind, because who wants to design when you are all like fatigued out of it and just feeling meh? For myself, I really value my self care and alone time. And all the things that pretty much keep me level headed, which is like going to the gym, doing fun outdoor activities, spending time with friends and family. It doesn't have to be a whole day, like quote unquote wasted. You can schedule like an hour or 30 minutes to unwind, go for a walk, especially when it's nice out. Like, I'll do like midday, afternoon, or evening walks just to like step back from my desk, especially when I feel like very stuck on a design. But yeah, take a break, guys. Don't destroy your mental health or your creative juices by just like working 24/7. You need to allow your mind to take a break. You are going to have imposter syndrome. It's okay, and it's normal to go through that, but don't get caught up on what other designers do. If you haven't gone through imposter syndrome, I salute you. That is amazing. But yeah, it is okay to see what is new and what other designers are doing, but don't feel like you need to change your style. Be you, be confident about your decisions, and being yourself is ultimately what makes you different and unique, and why clients are seeking you. So make sure to stay true to yourself. That's what I have to say about this one. Like, I've gone through it. I'm sure other people have gone through it. Find ways to stay true to yourself, and yeah, don't follow. Be a leader of yourself, of your own. Yeah. So moving on, there will be periods of time where you either have too much work or not enough. And on the days where I have too much going on, I find that making myself really organized helps, along with like sticking with my deadlines. That the time management is absolutely critical and crucial in those moments, because things will get hectic. There's a million plates, or there's a million hats that I wear in this business, and the last thing I want to do is upset or disappoint a client. So sticking to those deadlines. Now, on the days where I don't have work, I like to keep myself busy with other aspects on my business, like marketing, accounting, networking events, YouTube, etc., etc. Like, I don't see it as like any downtime. There's always something to do, which I really do enjoy. Like, I'm like, okay, what can I work on next? What can I like update or upgrade next? So yeah. Okay, so this next lesson might be a no-brainer, but always take notes during construction visits and send summarized emails of what was talked about with your clients or contractor. Even if it was a 5-minute meeting, still write it down, because you never know what information could be useful. I had an instance where I went on a site visit to see my client's kitchen renovation. We made a few decisions there, and I'm like, all right, we're good. Later on, they emailed me saying, hey, what did we decide on? I could not remember for the life of me what decision we made of. So I really had to, I spent like several hours thinking about what we had talked about. So yeah, at that moment I wished I would have wrote everything down. So yeah, even if it's like a 5 minute meeting, write those notes and just send a summarized email. Really helpful. Okay, make sure to ask for reviews. After you close a project, have a link to your Google profile for review or add a barcode to your business card, so it's easy for them. That is one thing I kind of wish I would have done right from the beginning. But at the same time, I don't think I had a Google profile set up. But still, make sure to find a way to get people's reviews or their feedback. It is really critical. I mean, that's another thing that people go off when they're hiring you is reviews. Like, are you good? Do people have good things to say about you? So yeah, one thing I'm going to start to do is after I wrap up a project, I send them a postcard, which I mean I have been doing, but in that postcard I'm going to put a barcode that takes them directly to them leaving a review. Easy. It's all about making it super easy for your clients to do something for you. Okay. Moving on, hire the right people for special installments. Like, don't hire a handyman to install wallpaper. I had a similar issue. I hired a handyman to install wallpaper for a project. I mean, he did it okay. It was okay, but there were bubbles in the wallpaper. Some things were not laid out straight, and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have just Googled or found someone that specially installs wallpaper. So don't try to cut corners. Hire the right people for the right installments, because it's too much work in the end run to redo it. If you are stuck between an unhappy client and a contractor or a vendor, ask to meet on site and talk solutions. It's better to do that than going back and forth on emails and phone calls. And before scheduling that meeting, make sure to ask your client what their timeline is, what other sensitive issues that they have, and anything else to know so that everything is brought to the table when it comes to that meeting. I had an instance where I had a countertop installment issue. My clients were not pleased with how the craftsmanship was done with installing the backsplash and the countertop. So we were literally going back and forth. Like, they were reaching out to me, I was reaching out to my vendor, and then going back to my client. Like, it was such a headache. I mean, given like the guy that I had hired wasn't the best communicator, so that should have been a red flag. But yeah, instead of going back and forth, I say just schedule a meeting. Just end it once and for all. And the last tip or lesson that I have for you guys is listen to podcasts and read entrepreneur books. I've had a couple of books I've read. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of bad at reading books. I'm more of a podcast girl, so when you go on those mental walk or your hot girl walk or hot guy walk, listen to podcasts. I always write down some notes on my phone while I'm walking, and I find that I get the most ideas when I'm away from my desk and walking or doing something that I enjoy while listening to inspiring podcasts. But yeah, that is all the lessons that I have for you guys today. I hope you can kind of implement some of these tips into your future business or if you have a business right now. But I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.